As always, deep and slow, quiet and even, in through the nose and out from the mouth, in through the belly and out from the chest, in through the heart and out from the mind. And as you do so, if you're comfortable doing so, invite the eyes to close and use that darkness behind your eyelids to use the power of your own visualization, concentration, and imagination. And as you do and you focus on your breath, begin to use the lower two ribs to squeeze a little more air out at the bottom of every breath cycle. These lower lobes of your lungs are reserve capacity, and when you squeeze a little more air out, you'll notice the inhale that follows through your nose is much deeper. So you have complete control over your capacity to exchange air by squeezing more air out at the bottom of every breath. And as you do so, begin to use your mind to focus on that fleeting moment where your out-breath changes to your in-breath, and your in-breath changes back to your out-breath. Search for that fleeting moment. It isn't important that you find it. It's important that you seek it. When you seek it, you are actually sharpening your mind on the stone of the breath, as we call it. So continue to use that power and emphasize every exhale. And after a few more breaths, when you feel comfortable doing so, invite your eyes to slowly, gently flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. And from here, we'll go into our warm-ups, as always, from the top of the kinetic chain all the way to the bottom, beginning with the yoga neck roll. We inhale and allow our head to float at the end of our neck like a balloon on a string. As we exhale, we let air out of the balloon. We drop down chin to chest. When we inhale again, we inhale one ear past one shoulder, and then we slowly exhale down. We inhale the opposite ear past the opposite shoulder. We slowly exhale and sweep across, and inhale one ear past one shoulder, exhale across the chest, inhale opposite ear past opposite shoulder. And continue rocking in this rhythm for your own body, and continue to focus on the rocking from side to side. You are calibrating a whole bunch of things when you do the yoga neck roll. You're calibrating your breath, your diaphragm with your inner ear, the three semicircular canals and the otoliths that float around between them. So you're getting your vestibular system warmed up. You're also calibrating your phrenic nerve, which controls your breathing, with your vagus nerve, which gives you feedback. Everything's moving in unison. Beautifully done. And after a few more of these breaths, when you're comfortable doing so, pause at the bottom and then inhale your chin back upright as we work into our shoulder girdles. We begin to loop our shoulder girdles forward and upward. We bring them around back and we squeeze them backward and downward. And in the rhythm of your own breath, loop your shoulders in this manner, so that when you inhale, they loop forward and upward. When you exhale, they squeeze backward and downward. Wake up the area between your shoulder blades, known in the ancient Asian literature as the Dajue point. Beautifully done. Looping upward, squeezing downward, waking up that portion of the upper respiratory sinus. Beautifully done. On your next exhale, you can relax your shoulders, turn your eyes towards one hand, and begin to scoop and toss behind you, scooping with palm up and tossing with palm down. And invite your body to engage, turning your trunk and shifting your weight from side to side, getting the upper body involved in this warm-up routine, breathing through the movement. You bring all of that looping of the hands back into your shoulder blades and begin looping backward from side to side, continuing this rolling of each shoulder and the shifting of the weight. And as you do so, rolling and shifting, you begin to work your way down and turn your trunk from side to side, shifting weight. Beautifully done. We love to call this one the rag doll. It's also known as the constant bear, and we use this to prepare ourselves to go into the pellet drum. So if you're comfortable doing so, begin to slap or tap the opposite shoulder at the top and the low back behind you. And as you do so, slapping or tapping, continue to do so and begin to work your way into your upper chest, up around your collarbone. Give yourself a slap or a tap, waking yourself up, preparing for all that follows. And from the top of the chest, you can work your way down to the lower rib cage, down around those floating ribs we were just using to squeeze out a little more breath. And after we've warmed up the lower rib cage and the entire respiratory sinus, work your way down to the hips. Simply slap or tap the hips from side to side. And after you've done the hips, you can work your way into the lumbar spine now. Invite your hands to drift towards your hips and begin big hula hoop maneuvers with the hips, looping the hips as big as you can make them while you focus on your long, slow, deep, silent breath. Deep and slow, quiet and even. In through the nose, out from the mouth, in through the belly, and out from the chest. After you've gone enough in one direction, simply pause and loop in the other direction, as we always strive to unwind what we've wound. In through the heart and out from the mind. Beautifully done. Now down into the lower body further. We pause in the middle. We step out into a little wider lower stance we know is the horse stance. Just like we're bopping along with a horse. And that little bit of bounce is just reassuring to know you're in the right stance. For the great bear swings, a Shaolin warm-up, we inhale, and then we slowly turn our shoulders to one side as we exhale down. When we inhale again, we inhale, turning shoulders to rise and pause. Exhale, turn shoulders, drop down. And you can rest your hands comfortably on your thighs, anywhere between your knees and hips, wherever you feel comfortable, and rock from side to side, feeling the power moving through the lower trunk, the lower dantian. The great bear swings from side to side. Beautifully done. And on your next exhale, you can simply pause at the bottom. Inhale your trunk back upright. Before we leave, let's do a little bit of shifting weight on a figure eight. Looping from side to side, almost a dance maneuver. And this is an important way of moving with the lower dantian while your three river rocks remain stacked on one another, like life's river's edge. And after you've done a few more of these, invite yourself to pause in the middle and return to your comfortable square stance. We call it center stance, about shoulder width. To finish up with the lower body, we shift weight to one foot, raise the opposite heel, loop the knee inward. After a few inward loops, a few outward loops. Then we take weight through that foot, lift the heel, loop inward. After a few inwards, a few outwards. Beautifully done. And then we take weight back through. Our warm-ups are complete from head to toe. We're ready now for our Qigong breathing, and we inhale our palms up towards our heart and we exhale them down towards our lap. And we continue to rise and fall in this manner, exhaling down. We inhale and rise. We exhale and fall. Beautifully done. If you can do so, as you breathe between two of your three energy centers, your middle dantian and your lower dantian, you can use the full power of your visualization in your upper dantian by inviting your eyes to close. So again, if you're comfortable doing so, invite your eyes to close so that you can use the full power of your visualization, your imagination, End your concentration and use this classic visualization known as cleansing the inner body. As you inhale your palms up, you visualize a glowing mist rising from the core of the earth through the soles of your feet, through your inner body to collect in the upper dantian. And as you exhale down, you imagine that glowing mist formed a glowing cloud. That glowing cloud formed a glowing rain, and that glowing rain washes through your inner body, back down through the soles of your feet and back into the earth. So you're breathing in and out of the earth. With each inhale, as the palms rise, the glowing mist follows it. With each exhale, as the palms fall, the glowing rain washes down, cleansing the inner body and preparing for everything that follows. And what follows, we know, is stand like trees. So when your hands rise again, invite them to pause in a heart height pose, as if you're hugging, as we go through our alignment to prepare for all that follows. Again, as we inhale and exhale deeply, our long neck and light head float upward. And as we inhale and exhale deeply, our heavy shoulders and heavy tail drag downward. And between them, our spine gently stretches. This is what's known as the string of pearls in ancient Asian literature. As our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one, our feet remain parallel in a firm-rooted stance like a mighty oak. Those three dantian we were breathing through are stacked on one another like three smooth river rocks we collected and stacked on life's river's edge, balanced perfectly. And with soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, we begin to feel the echoes of the chi we stirred in our warm-ups. So we see and feel the yoga neck roll and the dajue rolls, the windmills and the pellet drum, the stirring of the bowl and the great bear swings. As we feel it, as we see it in our mind's eye, our hands begin a slow journey downward until our thumbs cross over our belly button and our folded fingers warm below in the area known as the cauldron of the body, the lower dantian. And through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw, we use the power of our concentration, visualization, and imagination, and blow on the embers of the cauldron of the body. As we do, we delight in the growing, glowing light of the embers, growing brighter with each extended exhale. And with each deep ensuing inhale, we draw the light further through our inner body, and we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart, just above it, the middle dantian. We fill the inner galaxy with light until we spill beyond the inner galaxy, and we bathe the space around us with light, warm, silken chi energy. May your body be strong, and may your heart be calm. And if eyes are closed, enjoy it as your hands begin to melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. We're ready to step into the center of our little boat, and the hand on this side of your room or screen floats before the heart. The hand on this side covers it. Together, we take a deep breath in. We slowly exhale and bow to one another in a gesture of mutual respect. And as we inhale ourselves back upright, in gratitude for the tradition, we exhale our hands down. And when we inhale them again, we bring them up overhead an inch apart. And we very slowly and deliberately exhale down our center line. This is known as centering the chi, where we begin and end. We'll do another, and this time we'll bring our palms together, and this is more in the Shaolin manner. We exhale only as far as the middle dantian, the heart center. In deference to all we borrow from them, we inhale our elbows and rise, wrists straight. We exhale and our hands melt down. Now we're ready. We step out into our little boat. We unlock our knees. When we inhale again, we inhale an inch apart, and then we exhale down, and we allow our knees and hands to move in concert with our breath. You can decide how high you reach. You can decide how low you go as you exhale down. Your goal in this movement, which is known as sinking the qi, a very seminal movement in Tai Chi and Qigong, your goal is to keep your 3 smooth river rocks balanced perfectly on life's river's edge. So keeping your trunk upright, rising with the breath, and falling with the breath. The shoulders remain squarely over hips as you rise with inhale, and fall with exhale. Beautifully done. Now in a moment, when the hands rise again, we'll bring the hand and foot from this side out in front of us, the heel down and the toe up. We bring the opposite hand in between, and we take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we switch to the other side. We inhale and float. We exhale and melt, and we continue from side to side. Inhale and float. Exhale and melt. Continue. This is known as playing Peep, the ancient Asian lute. Rising with the breath and falling with the breath. We continue from side to side. Beautifully done. Playing Peep. Well done. On this next one, step out, find your center, and sink your qi. Rise with the breath and fall with the breath. Continue floating and melting in concert with the breath and in harmony with the room. And when your hands drop again, pause at the bottom, inhale them up in front of you at heart height, and exhale back down, and continue to breathe in this manner. We know this move as opening the door. It's a move you'll see in formal Tai Chi and Qigong routines. We're using it here to prepare us to go into today's mini routine, what we like to do here online. And when our hands rise again with the inhale, invite them to spread wide. Beautifully done. Now, the hand on this side can take residence right on your hip, what's called the qua, kind of the crease right there. The hand on this side begins to float past your field of vision, crossing your center line, and then scooping out to do it again. Now, as you do this and repeat this is silk reeling. First with one hand, and then we'll engage both hands. But as you do so, if you can calibrate your breath, feel free to. And as your hand floats past your field of vision, a slow, deep inhale. And as you scoop back out to the side and exhale through pursed lips. And as my teacher taught me, and you're welcome to try this, as your hand floats past, you look for the leading edge of your hand as it floats past and focus. Remember how we sharpen the mind on the stone of the breath? This is what you're doing here. You're focusing on that leading edge of your hand. And if it's a little trancy, that's the idea. Now, in a moment, as we return back out to the side, we'll get the other hand involved and silk reel with both hands. So when you feel comfortable doing so on this next return outward, just engage the other hand and bring it across. Start doing so with both hands from side to side. Allow those hands to float past your field of vision and enjoy the show. Notice as you do so, there's really not a whole lot of movement going on with the arms, even though it seems that way. The movement is really happening at the trunk and the hips, and you're moving with the dantian. So take note of your shifting weight and your turning trunk as the hand floats past your field of vision. Beautifully done. Now, we're silk reeling with both hands. We're just going to explore a stance or two. And the first one we'll explore is horse stance to the east. So what we'll do is we'll prepare for it. First, we'll follow our turn in trunk. Then we'll follow our shift in weight. Then we'll ready ourselves and step out into horse stance. And notice when you go even just a few inches wider and lower, how much freer your movement is. Maintain those 3 river rocks, balanced perfectly on life's river's edge, and explore the yumminess, as my teacher used to call it, the yummy feeling of the freedom of silk reeling when you're in horse stance. Now, in a moment, we're going to return back to our center stance. So again, we'll use the free movement of our trunk as our metronome. So we'll follow our turn. We'll follow our shift. We'll ready ourselves and return to your center stance and continue your silk reel. Beautifully done. Now in Strong Qigong, we know we always strive to balance east and west. So we'll follow horse stance to the east with horse stance to the west. So as before, we'll follow the turn in trunk. We'll follow our shift in weight. We'll ready ourselves and we'll step out into horse stance west. And again, feel the yumminess of the freedom of movement. Beautifully done. Eyes follow hand. Hand follows breath. Breath follows mind. Beautifully done. Watch the hands float by the field of vision. Enjoy the show. When you're ready, we'll return to our center stance while we continue to silk reel. So, we prepare ourselves by following our turn and following our shift and readying ourselves, and we return to our silk reeling center stance and continue. Beautifully done. Now, we never leave without at least one single leg stance balance. And this form of silk reeling, where we're crossing our center line, leading with our palm, works perfectly into one we do a lot in our live on-site classes, known as the Rooster Stands on one leg. So in a moment, we'll Rooster Stands to the east. So as always, we follow our turn. We follow our shift. We ready ourselves and we Rooster Stand east. And then we resume our silk reel. Beautifully done. What we do to the east, we do to the west. So we'll prepare ourselves for Rooster Stands west. We'll follow our turn. We'll follow our shift. We'll ready ourselves and Rooster Stands west and resume your silk reel. Beautifully done. And now we'll begin to return to where we started. So another thing that this form of silk reeling eases us into is playing peepaw, where we started out. So in a moment, we'll play peepaw to the east. But as always, we follow our turn. We follow our shift. We ready ourselves, and we play peepaw east. Well done. Resume silk reeling. Beautifully done. And what we do to the east, we do to the west. So, following turn, following shift, we ready ourselves and play peepaw west. Well done. Resume your silk reel. Let's do one more each side. Play peepaw east. Ready, turn trunk, shift weight, ready yourself, and play peepaw east. Resume silk reel. Well done. Follow turn for west. Follow shift. Ready, and play peepaw west. Now, find your center and sync your chi. Well done. Exhale down. Inhale and rise. Exhale and fall. Continue breathing. As you inhale up and exhale down. On your next exhale at the bottom, pause at the bottom. Inhale the hands up to heart height and resume opening the door. Beautifully done. Floating and melting in concert with your breath, in harmony with each other. When your hands rise again, spread them wide and stand like tree. And with long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and heavy tail melt downward. And as our spine, our string of pearls, stretches between them, our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. Our feet remain parallel in a firm-rooted stance like a mighty oak. While our three energy centers, our dantian, are stacked and balanced perfectly on one another as if we collected smooth, flat river rocks and balanced them perfectly on life's river's edge. And with soft knees and soft belly, soft breath or soft gaze, or eyes closed, we feel the echoes of the chi we stirred, and we see the dance in our mind's eye, the silk reeling with both hands, the playing of peepaw, the horse stances east and west, and the rooster stands on one leg east and west. We feel it course through us. We see it in our mind's eye. And if eyes are closed, we enjoy it a moment or two longer as our hands begin the final journey down. The thumbs crossing over the belly button, the folded fingers resume warming on the cauldron of the body. As we extend every exhale through pursed lips and closed eyes, we resume blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the body and the cauldron of the heart. As we fill the inner galaxy with light, as the embers respond to each extended exhale, we draw that light further upward and outward with each deep ensuing inhale We begin blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the mind, the third Dantian, the center of our wisdom and discernment, the home of the third eye center, where we draw our concentration, our visualization, and our imagination. And as we blow on the embers of all three cauldrons, the inner galaxy fills with the brightest light yet. It spills beyond the inner galaxy and it bathes the space around us. It spills beyond the space around us and it bathes the world around us. It fills the space and spills beyond this world around us and it bathes life itself around us with light, warm, silken chi energy. May your body stay strong. May your heart stay calm. May your mind stay sharp. And may your spirit stay free. Yidao Qidao, which means where intention goes, energy flows. Where the mind goes, chi follows. If eyes are closed, enjoy it as your hands melt to your side one final time, only inviting the eyes to gently, slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. As we step back into the center of the little boat where we began, we inhale the palms up an inch apart as promised. We slowly exhale down our center line, centering the chi one final time. And before we leave, the hand on this side makes the gentle fist. The hand on this side covers it. Together, we take a deep breath in to straighten. We slowly exhale and bow, and you give yourselves a round of applause for this light you made in the world today.